Good morning. In our last discussion in the subject of manufacturing technology and in the chapter of casting and metal foundry techniques, we are talking about pattern. So, in previous few lecture, we talked about what is the importance of pattern, why these patterns is employed in casting process. Then we have seen different material being used as a pattern like wood, plastic, metals, wax and plaster. And we also discuss the advantage, limitation and application of each and every casting material, pattern material. Then we have started our discussion regarding the pattern allowances. So generally there are 5 types of allowances. First, shrinkage allowance. Second, machining allowance. Third, draft or taper allowance. Fourth, distortion allowance. And final, fifth one is a wrapping or shake allowance. So this shrinkage or contraction allowance is take place in 3 forms. First, in a liquid contraction. Second, solidifying contraction. And third, solid contraction. And we have also discussed that how during each phase the solidification takes place, and due to that the final solidified component which is contracted. So to get the exact shape and size, what we do, we make a pattern slightly larger than the original shape, so that after contraction we can have a desired shape and size. So that what we have discussed in that shrink or contraction allowance. It is depends upon the what kind of metal we are casting, the temperature of the pour metal, the dimension of the casting, the method of molding, as well as what are the different metals. Based on that shrink allowance is given. So these are the some of the thing that what we have discussed regarding the shrinkage allowance. Then machining allowance, as you know that the product that we take out from the casting, it is not as pleasant as we require in the outer shape or the outer finish, surface finish, so that we have to remove some stock of the material by grinding or polishing or any other process, so that the size will reduce. That's why we made slightly oversized product to provide a stock or stock for the machining. And it is also depends upon the metal of casting, machining method used, and casting method to be used, as well as the shape and size of the casting and amount of finish required on the machined portion. Then draft allowance. So on a vertical face, it is not easy to remove from the mold. Okay, so this vertical face of the pattern is not easy to remove from the mold. So to easily take out, instead of make it straight, some taper is allowed. Some taper is given, so that the easy removal of the pattern, easy withdrawal of the pattern from the mold, so that it will not harm to your mold. That's why the allowance is provided. That allowance is known as a draft allowance. Then distortion or camber allowance. So when we have a irregular shape, if we have a V or U shape, and we have a arm with unequal thickness, and casting, some portion of the casting which is cools faster than the another, in that all these cases the required shape which will be distorted. Okay, distort like this. So to get the exact shape and size, what we do, we give a opposite direction allowances is given, so that after that, when due to that camber or distortion allowance, we can get a exact shape and size product. So this is how this distortion allowances is provided to the patterner. And finally, we have a wrapping or shake allowance. So when pattern is to be taken out from the mold, okay, it is first wrapped. Okay, so when we wrap it, there will be some change into the dimension. Okay, so to for this, a negative allowance is provided on the pattern, so that after shaking, the dimension that will be as required. So in that case, we kept a smaller dimension than the object, so that after wrapping, it will be increased, so that we can have a proper shape and size. So by considering all these 5 types of pattern allowances, the design of the pattern is done and manufacturing of the pattern is completed, and then that pattern is used in a molding and casting process. Now there are certain different types of patterns are available, and this question is also important for exam point of view. This question is frequently asked in exam, that uh, classify various types of pattern and explain one or two, or the particular name is given, so that in that case you have to briefly define the different types of pattern, and then you have to draw a particular diagram of that uh, pattern, and you have to explain regarding its uh, advantage, limitation and application. Okay, so this is how this question is frequently asked in exam. So this there are various types of patterns. So the types of pattern to be used for a particular casting will depends upon the following factor. So which are the factor? First, quantity of casting to be produced. If we are going to make only a one piece, or we are going to produce 100 piece, or we are going to produce 1000 piece, or we are going to produce 10,000 piece. So how many quantity of casting to be produced, based on that we have to select the pattern. Then second, shape and size of the casting. If it is a small casting or medium casting or large casting, it has a simple shape or intricate shape or complicated shape. So based on that, the types of the pattern is selected. Then the types of molding method. There are different types of molding method like sand casting, investment casting, cell mold casting, okay, vacuum casting. So which type of process being adopted, based on that we have to select the types of the pattern. And finally, design of casting. Is that the design of casting is simple or complex or moderate? Based on that we have to select the types of the pattern. So there are certain different types of patterns. So these are the some of the type. First, single piece or solid piece pattern. Second, two piece or split pattern. Third, loose piece pattern. Fourth, cope and drag pattern. Fifth, gated pattern. Sixth, match plate pattern. Sweep pattern. Skeleton pattern. Segmental pattern. Follow board pattern and leg up pattern. Okay, so these are the some of the basic common used types of patterns. So now one by one we are going to discuss about all these different types of patterns. So first is a single piece or solid pattern. So from the name you can easily understand the whole pattern is made in a single block. Okay, so it is the simplest of all the pattern, and it is made up in a one piece. It does not carry loose piece or joints. Okay, so you can see here, suppose this is the top view. So from the top view you can see it is made up of a single piece. Okay, there is no joints. Okay, and if you see the side view, it should be like this. Okay, or front view, it will be like this. So here in this case the pattern is made up of one piece. There is no loose piece as well as there is no joints. It is made up of a single in a single piece, and it is generally used for making large size simple casting. It is made up for used for making large sized but simple casting. It is less expensive as compared to other types of pattern because it is very easy to manufacture it, because we do not require any joint or we do not require any loose piece. Okay, that's why it is a simplest one. And depending upon the quantity of the casting to be produced, it is usually made up of wood or metal. So generally the single piece pattern or solid pattern is made up of a wood or metal. And for making the mold, single piece pattern is used either in a cope or drag. Okay, so what is cope and what is drag? So in last lecture we have seen one video. In that one we have two piece. Okay, two piece, and in that two piece, one whatever the bottom half, that is known as a drag, and upper half, that is known as a cope. Okay, so either we can fix that uh, solid piece pattern in a cope or drag, because it is only one piece, so we cannot divide into two parts. Well, in that video we have seen that there are two parts. One part is fixed in a cope, and then second part is fixed in a drag. Okay, but here we have only one piece, so either we can choose cope or drag to fix that uh, pattern. That's why it will be used in any one of them. We cannot use simultaneously in both one. And stuffing box of steam engine can be cast by using a single piece pattern. Okay, so this is one example given by which that can be produced by a single piece pattern, stuffing box of a steam engine. So this is a single piece or solid pattern. In that one, only one piece, it will be made up in only one piece, and it does not carry any loose piece or joint. Then we have second one is a two piece or split pattern. So patterns of complicated shape casting cannot be made in a single piece because of the difficulty associated with the molding option. Okay, so that's why we cannot some complicated shape which cannot be produced in a single piece. So here suppose this is the object we want to cast like this. Okay, this is the object we want to cast. So it is very difficult to make it in a single piece, and it is also difficult to take out this from the uh, molding boxes. Okay, so that's why this will be divided into two or three parts. Okay, so here you can see this is the pattern which is divided into more than one part. Okay, so you can see it will be cut from here, it will be cut from here. So now we have total three pieces. This is piece number 1, this is piece number 2, and this is piece number 3. Now all these three different pieces that will be fixed in a different boxes. So first the bottom half, that will be termed as a drag. whatever be the bottom molding box, which is termed as a drag. Whatever be the intermediate molding box, which is termed as a cheek, and whatever be the upper molding box, which is termed as a cope. Okay, so cope, cheek, and drag. And if there are only two, then cope and drag. Okay, it will be termed as a cope and drag. Bottom box, that will be termed as a drag, and the upper term, that is termed as a cope. So here all these three piece. Okay, so this piece number 3, which is molded in box number 3, piece number 2, which is molded in box number 2 cheek, and the piece number 1, which is molded in a cope. And after proper ramming the sand, we can easily take out, because you can see these three, part number 3, which can be easily removed. Same way, we can easily remove the part number 2 from cheek, and we can easily remove part number 1 from the cope. And then all this cope, cheek, and drag are connected with each other, so that we can have a hollow cavity generated over here. And from in that one, we can pour the molten metal. Okay, and after solidifying, we can have a product. So if we make it in a single piece, then this will be very difficult to take it out from the mold. And that's why, instead of making it in a single piece, it will be made in a 2 or 3 piece. That's why it is known as a split pattern or 2-piece pattern. And such pattern are made in 2 piece and called as a split pattern or 2-piece pattern. Okay, so this is also one another example. If you make the shape like this, okay, so in that case, it will be split into 2 half like this. So this portion, that will be fixed in a cope. Okay, here all around we have a sand. Okay, so this is cope. And this upper half, that lower half, that will be fixed in a, that will be molded in a drag. Okay, so this is drag. And both this half, that will be fixed by this two piece pattern, and then we remove that pattern so that we can have a hollow cavity, and then we pour the molten metal inside the hollow cavity, and after solidification we can have a product. Okay, so this is how it will be termed as a 2-piece pattern. Its upper and lower parts are accommodated in a cope and drag portion of the mold respectively. Okay, so upper part, that will be accommodated in cope, and the lower part, that will be accommodated in a drag. Okay, so same thing we have seen over here. This upper part, that will be in a cope, and this lower part, that will be in a drag. For keeping the alignment between the two parts of the pattern, dowel pins are used. Okay, so here you can see these pins. Okay, because the dimension accuracy, as well as the parts that is to be fixed in exact location. So to fix at that, exact location, that dowel pins are used, so that there will be a hole in one piece and dowel pin is on another piece. Okay, so that dowel pin, that will be exactly fixed inside the hole, so that there is no misalignment of the pattern. Pattern of more complicated casting are made in more than 2 piece for their easy removal, and they have 3-piece flask for the molding purpose. Okay, so here you can see here we have total 3 pieces, first, second and third. And casting of taps and water stop cocks are produced by split pattern. Okay, so this is one example where split pattern is used. Taps and water stop cocks. Okay, generally we use in our home, we have a tap and a water stop cocks. All these are made up by these split patterns. Okay, so this is the use and example of two piece pattern. So first we have seen a single piece pattern. Second, we have talked about two piece pattern. Then third is a loose piece pattern. Some part embedded in the molding sand cannot be withdrawn. Hence, such patterns are made with one or more loose piece for their easy removal from the mold box. And this pattern are known as the loose piece pattern. So simply, if you see in this diagram, if you want to make the product like this, and if you fix, suppose this is the molding box, if we simply take the example, this is the molding box, okay, and you want to, all around this we have a sand. Now, if you want to take this, withdraw this pattern from the sand, whatever the sand over here, that will be distorted because of the movement of this pattern in this direction. So that this type of shape which cannot be directly generated by a single piece pattern. So in that case, what we do, we cut this portion of the pattern and they will be attached by using a dowel pins. Okay, they will be easily attached by using a dowel pin. So simply initially what we'll do, we just remove this portion by easily removal, and then we take out this component, so that we take out this component in this direction and then we lift it. Same way, this loose piece pattern, that will be first drag in this direction and then it will be lifted up, so that it will not going to deform the sand over here. Okay, so that's why, that's how we can make such a complicated shape without distorting the sand, and we can make it possible. So this type of pattern, which is known as a loose piece pattern, here it will be joined, but that joint is loose joint. Okay, this joint over here, which is a loose joint, only by use of any dowel or any other pin, so that we can easily uh, remove it. And that is how we can make this possible. So these patterns consume more time for molding operation and require more labor work. So as we talked earlier, that here we have to first of all make it loose pattern, and then we have to withdraw the first half, and then we have to withdraw that individual loose piece. So that's why it will take a very long time, and it also require a more labor work as compared to the single piece or two piece pattern. But still, in some cases, these loose piece pattern are used, because that's such shapes which cannot be produced by any other method. That's why we have to go for the loose piece pattern. So this is how, by use of a loose piece pattern, we can make a mold. Then cope and drag pattern, it is another form of a split pattern. Okay, it is another form of a split pattern. The pattern is split about a suitable surface or line. each half of the pattern is fixed to a separate plate. Here important thing, that each half of the pattern is fixed to a separate plate, and besides the pattern it has provision for molding runner and gates, and each half of the pattern is molded separately in a separate molding box, and then they are assembled for pouring. So first half, as we see here, just a minute, here. So as we know that we have a cope and drag. The upper half, that is known as a cope, and the lower half, that will be termed as a drag. So here both this cope and drag, they are made separately. They are made separately. They are molded separately. And then both the cope and drag, they are assembled. And as they are assembled, it generates a hollow cavity, and in that hollow cavity, by using that runner and gate, okay, by using that gates, we fill the molten metal, and then the casting is made. So these types of pattern are used for producing large casting. So when the size of the casting is large, in that case we can use cope and drag pattern, because in that one, to make that hollow cavity by using a two-piece pattern, it somewhat difficult. But if we have a separate cope and separate drag, we separately make it, and then we have to just assemble it, so that the such a large casting which can be easily produced by using this uh, cope and drag type pattern. So this is the fourth pattern. Okay, first we have seen a single piece pattern, second split or two piece pattern, then third one is a loose piece pattern, fourth one is a cope and drag pattern. Then next one is a gated pattern. Gated pattern. So to increase the strength and reduce the tendency to wrap, gated patterns are generally made up of metal. Okay, so this is the gated pattern. This is the example of a gated pattern. And by using gated pattern, number of castings can be made at a single time. Hence, they are used in a mass production system. So simply here, this is the pattern. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and this is the gate, in gate, through which the molten metal is poured in all 8 hollow cavity simultaneously. Same way, the molten metal will be filled from here, here, it will also go in this direction and this direction. So that by using that gated pattern, number of castings can be made at a time, and hence they are used in a mass production system. The sections connected various patterns serves as a runner and gate. Okay, so this is the runner, this horizontal channel is runner, and this is the gate. Okay, and the this facilitated filling of the mold with molten metal in a better manner and reduce the required time and labor work. So in a single run, we can produce many objects. So that's why it will reduce the time and labor work. And generally, this type of gated patterns is used when we have to produce number of parts in a of a small casting. Okay, so generally this one is used when we want to produce a number of parts having a small casting. So that is why it is known as a gated pattern. So in that one, we have only one sprue over here, and through that sprue, the molten metal is passed in every runner and gate. Okay, and then it will be solidified, and after solidification we have a final product. Okay, so it will save lots of time and labor work. So when we have to produce when we want to generate a small casting in mass production, we can go for a gated pattern. Then next one is a match plate pattern. Match plate pattern. So from the name you can easily understand that we have to match the plate. Okay, so these pattern are made into two pieces. One piece mounted on one side and another on the other side of the plate, and that two plates that will be matched with each other. So here we can see that this is the plate, so one piece that will be on one side. Okay, so this is the first half of the pattern which is mounted on a first plate, and then this is the second half of the pattern which is mounted on a second plate. Okay, so this is plate number 1, this is plate number 1, okay, and this is plate number 2, and both these plates have been matched. Okay, and as they both these two plates will match, we can have the final shape like this. Okay, so this is our final required shape, and then this plate is used to make the hollow cavity. Okay, so the plate may carry one pattern or a group of patterns mounted on a in the same way on its two sides. Okay, so it may be a same shape or it may be a different shape on another plate. Okay, so like this on the second plate we have a shape like this. This is also possible. Okay, and these two patterns that will be fixed by some bolting action. So both these two plates that will be exactly matched with each other, and then this pattern is used to perform the molding process. So this one is known as a match plate pattern. In that one, all the time we have to match the pattern, and it will give us the shape. So it will take less time as compared to that two piece or any process, because it's generally faster than that one. So that one is known as a match plate pattern. This plate can be wood, aluminum, magnesium or steel. Okay, and plate the match plate has runner gates attached with each other. Okay, so that the time to make that runner and gate that can be saved. Okay, and these match plate patterns are generally used in machine molding because they produce accurate casting at a faster rate. So this is the use. It produce accurate casting at faster rate. And the piston rings of IC engines are generally made by using this match plate pattern. So this is the example where this match plate pattern is used. Then next one is a sweep pattern. Sweep pattern. So sweep pattern is just a form made on a wooden board which sweeps the casting shape in the sand all around the circumference. Okay, so initially we have a box over here, and in that one we have filled the sand all around it. Then we have a base over here like this. Okay, and we have a only this sweep board. Okay, so this is the sweep board. Suppose this is the sweep board. Oh, initially it is over here like this. It is initially over like this. It is only a sweep board. Okay, like uh, uh, we have a wooden plate only. Okay, then on this vertical spindle, we slowly rotate this board and it will come down. So when it will come down, this sweep board that will remove the sand in this particular area. Okay, and as this sweep board will come down, okay, so at the end this will come over here. So this is the shape what we can produce. Okay, the round shape we can produce. Okay, so if you see in the top view, it should be look like a circle like this. Okay, so this big diameter is this one, and this small diameter is this one. Okay, so when we want to make a circular shape, such a shape which can be easily produced by the sweep pattern. So here the equipment consists of a base placed in a sand. Okay, so this is the base which is placed in a sand. Vertical spindle, so this is the vertical spindle, and wooden template called as a sweep. Okay, so this is the wooden template which is called as a sweep. The sweep is rotated about the spindle or a post. Okay, so it is now start rotating to form the cavity as shown in the figure. Okay, so as it will slowly move down. Okay, so whatever the sand in this portion, okay, that will be removed by the wooden template. Once the mold is ready, sweep pattern and the post can be removed. Okay, so after that we remove this post, we remove this sweep board, we remove this base. Okay, it saves lot of time and labor work as compared to making a full pattern. Because suppose you want to make the full pattern, it will take a very long time, because of this, suppose you can make a product like this. Okay, so suppose you want to make the product like this, just simply I will draw a 3D diagram. So in that case you can see it will take lot of time to make such a pattern, while here we have only a one board, simply one board of this particular shape, and then we have swept it. So sweep pattern are used for making large casting of circular cross section and symmetrical shape. So this is the, you can say, limitation of this sweep pattern. It can only make a circular cross section and a symmetrical shape. If it is not circular, if it is not symmetrical, then we cannot use sweep pattern. But for this shape, it will save lots of time. If you have a circular shape and symmetrical shape, it will save lots of time and labor work. And large kettles of cast irons which can be produced by sweep pattern. So this is the example where we can use a sweep pattern. Then skeleton pattern. So when the casting size is very large but easy to shape and few are to be made, then it is economical to make a large solid pattern of that size. Okay, so this is the largest balloon, and in such cases a pattern consisted of a wooden frame. Okay, so this is the wooden frame. Okay, and in that one we have a shape like this, and stripe is made which is called as a skeleton pattern. Okay, so this is the skeleton pattern, and it is filled with a loam sand and rammed. Okay, so what is loam sand, that we will discuss in our upcoming lecture, but it is filled with loam sand and it is rammed. Then a stricle is provided. Okay, so this is the stricle is provided for giving the desired shape to the sand and for removing the extra sand. Okay, so from here you can see the tricle is start moving. Okay, so this is the top view and this is the side view. Okay, so you can see the tricle will, here we have a tricle. So now this tricle we move in this direction. So the this half portion is made. Then to make this another half portion, again the tricle board is put over here and then it will be start move. Okay, so this is how we can make it. And for making the hollow pipe we can use it. And skeleton patterns are also used for producing large casting like turbine casting, water pipes, L bands, etc., which can be made. Then we have a segmental pattern. So the working principle of segmental pattern is same as a sweep pattern. The main difference between them is that a sweep is given a continuous removal, while here we can have only a particular removal of the sand. Okay, so only a periphery is to be cut. Okay, only periphery is to be cut. In that case we can use a segmental pattern. Okay, so in that one, suppose this is the sand, here we have a sand. Okay, and this is the segmental pattern which is pivoted over here, and then it will be rotated so that you can make the pattern like this. Okay, so simple example is the wheel rim. In that wheel rim we require only outer shape. Okay, we require only outer shape, while whatever the sand in between, that should be remain as it is. So in that case we can use a segmental pattern. Then follow board. So from the name suggests, a follow board is a wooden board and is used for supporting pattern which is very thin. Okay, with the help of follow board support under a weak pattern, the drag is rammed and then the follow board is removed. Okay, and a follow board also form a natural parting line on the mold. Okay, and follow board patterns are used for casting master pattern. Okay, so whenever we want to first make a master pattern, in that one we can use a follow board pattern. And finally we have a legged up pattern. So cylindrical workpiece such as cylindrical pipes, columns, built up edge construction. Okay, and staves are longitudinal strips. So here you can see we have a longitudinal strips of wood which are beveled on each other to make the joint. Okay, so here they are joined with each other uh, from outside and glued or screwed. They are glued with each other or screwed with each other so that we can have a piece of wooden called as a head. And such construction gives the maximum amount of strength to the pattern. Okay, so these are the various types of pattern which is used for making a different types of mold cavity and which is used in molding box. So thank you very much. This is enough for today. And when we will next time, we will see some new theory in this one.